My fellow Jamaican, I am praying that you will have a heart, because as a result of the passage of the ferocious Hurricane Melissa, many persons have lost their humanity. Do not be selling people spoiled meat, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you have lost livestock. Yes, you lost money. But that doesn't justify you selling people contaminated meat, contaminated food. Do not. The hurricane have caused a natural disaster. Do not create a man-made one that is worse than Hurricane Melissa. Do not create a man-made pandemic, ladies and gentlemen, by selling things that will hurt your fellow man. Many of you are capitalizing on the fact that people are in need of food, and instead of offering a discount, a 50% discount or something, ladies and gentlemen, just to ensure that your fellow men can get food to eat, you're hiking up your price. Many of you are guilty of price gouging, and you don't know when you do that it's gonna have a long-term effect on your country, on Jamaica. It is time that we understand, ladies and gentlemen, that we are trying to build back this country back to the way it was before Hurricane Melissa. Another thing you need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, the hurricane have exposed a lot of our weaknesses, and I am very glad, we all are very glad that the hurricane have exposed our weaknesses so that we can address them, so that we can be more hurricane prepared. Ladies and gentlemen, board houses cannot sustain a hurricane, cannot resist a hurricane. Zinc houses cannot resist a hurricane, and I never even knew that persons were still living in board houses and zinc houses. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this hurricane have opened up our eyes to the fact that we need proper infrastructure in our country so that our citizens can be properly protected should another hurricane like Melissa strike this country. Because many of us, we never expect to lose our houses like that. Yes, we were expecting a few house tops to blow off because during a hurricane things like these happen. But for a person to just finish their house that they have labored for many years to build, and 2 days after they finished their house, they lost it to Hurricane Melissa. Ladies and gentlemen, that's heartrending. But do not add insult to injury by, ladies and gentlemen, being heartless. Don't be so heartless that you're selling ground provision for a whole lot of money in order to benefit financially from a crisis. You should be seeking to help your fellow men, not to tear them down. Persons who are hiking up taxi fare, you are as heartless as the devil himself. You're the devil in human form. Why I say that? Because the government give you free toll. A week of free toll. During the week of free toll, you unlawfully, you illegally increase your taxi fares when you should be reducing it in order to help out your fellow men. You're increasing it, adding insults to injury. Ladies and gentlemen, learn to be your brother's keeper. You could have been in the same situation that your fellow men are now in. Have a heart. Come on, somebody. Have a heart. Where is your conscience? Where is your humanity? Have we lost it somewhere? Are we allowing greed to blind us? Are we allowing, ladies and gentlemen, hatred to cloud our vision? The Prime Minister is working behind the scenes to get help into the country, while instead of praying for our leader, you're busy spreading misinformation, speaking all sort of lies in order to gain political points about the Prime Minister. Come on, shame on you, my Jamaican citizen. Shame on you. Many of you are just natural haters. You hate everybody. You hate us, pastors. You hate yourselves. And you hate your leaders. It's time to put aside all those negativity, ladies and gentlemen, and focus on building back this country even better than how it was before the hurricane, because many of us have never seen a hurricane at this magnitude. For our entire life is the first time in our history that we are seeing a hurricane like this at category 5, ladies and gentlemen. So you know that we weren't prepared for a category 5 hurricane. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am appealing to you. Have a heart. Have a conscience. Do not sell people contaminated food. Desist from practicing price gouging. Desist from illegally increasing taxi fare. Do you know that that's against the law and you can be prosecuted for it if persons decide to report you? And you can even lose your road license for that. You need to understand yourselves. Come on. You need to understand yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever you can do to help your fellow men. I've seen a lot of persons helping. Even my church, yes, helped. And I am so very proud of everybody who put together to help those persons in Western Jamaica. I must applaud them. But for those persons that are hell-bent on illegal activities, you need to take a grip of yourself. You need to understand yourself. If you don't understand yourself, then the law is going to get you, because the God that I am serving is a just God and He doesn't like ugly. Ever wonder why some persons, no matter how much money they make, they can never hold on to it? No matter how much money that comes in their position, they can't hold on to it. You know why they can't hold on to it? Because they are greedy, ladies and gentlemen. Their heart is filled with darkness. And the darkness corrupt them in such a way that they cannot be blessed. If you want God to really reward you, have a heart, have a conscience. Remember, it's your fellow men, it's your brothers, it's your sisters, it's your aunts, your uncles, your nieces, your daughters. Have a conscience, ladies and gentlemen, and let us, together as a nation, build this country, rebuild this country even better than before. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Evangelist Adrian Young. I thank you.